Jai Hind. I, Dr. Sarika Tyagi, Associate Professor, Subharti Institute of Law. Today we are going to discuss the topic related to the marriage. As our topic is related with the family law, so we are going to discuss the meaning and nature of marriage in different religions. First, we are going to discuss under Hindu marriage. When we talk about the meaning or nature under the Hindu marriage system or the among Hindus, so we can say it is believed that a Hindu is born on this earth with certain specified mission in the life, which may be expressed through the Purusharth comprising Dharma, Arth, Kam and Moksha. In order to fulfill these missions in life, every Hindu has to go through different stages or the resting places of life. These resting places are known as the name of ashrams. As we know, there are 4 ashrams: Brahmacharya, Grahasth, Vanprasth or Sannyas. The Hindu lawgivers have made provision for the attainment of salvation by leading a Grahasth life too. The married householder is considered as the property of the society and he alone can completely discharge all the enjoined duties. It has also been ordained by the Shastra that the Dvij is incompetent to perform all the duties in the absence of a wife. And you all have been heard and seen in many of the literature or in many of the serials that whatever the sacrifices are being performed by a Hindu male, so the means the wife should be there, and with means any sacrifice or the home or the yajna can not be performed without the wife. So it is necessary that both the person should be there. One must get married in order to become a full man or full woman. The human society cannot continue without procreation, and procreation is possible through the gratification of the kama. Moreover, among the Hindus, the birth of a son is considered essential as it would enable the householder to attain moksha. जो हमने 4 stages बताए जिसमें मोक्ष की बात की. So it was a belief in the Hindu religion that moksha can be attained only through the son, and hence marriage become obligatory among the Hindus. It is a sacred union between a man and a woman with the sole purpose of begetting a male child. Later on, Hindu Marriage Act of 1955 has reformed the marriage according to Hindu law. It is considered as a landmark in the history of social legislation. Also, this law has not only codified Hindu marriage law, it has also introduced many important changes in many aspects. And the concept of marriage is to establish a relationship between husband and wife. So we can see the main purpose, as according to the Hindu philosophy, it was clear that the purpose of the marriage is to establish a relationship between husband and a wife. Now we come to the nature of the Hindu marriage. As this Hindu marriage is based on Hindu law, and the marriage is a sacred tie and last of 10 sacraments that can never be broken. It is a relationship that is established by birth to birth. आपने सुना होगा शादियाँ जन्मांतर का संबंध है, जोड़े स्वर्ग में बनते हैं एंड 7 जन्मों का साथ होता है. सो ऐसे कुछ टर्म जो हमारे समाज में यूज़ किए जाते हैं, आपने सुने भी होंगे, देखे भी होंगे. तो ये सारी चीज़ें क्या हैं? बिकॉज इट इज़ कंसिडर्ड एज संस्कार. इट इज़ अ फिलॉसफी रिलेटेड टू द मैरिज and it is based on smritikar. Even death cannot break this relationship. It is not only considered as sacred, but it is also a holy union. The main objective of marriage is to enable a woman and men to perform their religious duty. Along with this, they also have to beget progeny. Based on ancient writing, a woman is considered half of her husband and thus complete him, while a man is also considered incomplete without a woman. Every Hindu, whether they are male or female, has to marry. A person could not remain a perpetual student, and whether he did not desire for an ascetic life, but he was enjoined or enjoined in the Shastra to marry. Therefore, we can say the marriage is considered as good as compulsory, more so in the case of a female. Now, why we call it as sacrament? When we talk about the sacrament is a symbolic religious ceremony to which are often added confirmation, penance, ordination and matrimony. So when we talk about that, marriage is essentially a sanskar and thus is sacramental in nature. How? Because there are three characteristics of the sacramental nature of marriage. It is an eternal union, wherein it is valid in all the life to come. Then it is considered as a permanent union, where if it is tied once, it cannot be united. Then it is a holy union, where it is essential to perform religious ceremony. So in that aspect, we are saying these are the essential characteristics which are involved in the marriage when we say the marriage in Hindu is considered as a sacrament. Then the grihasthashram commences after marriage and is required for the fulfillment of Panch Mahajanas, or we can say the 5 great sacrifices. Like why it is necessary for the religious to perform this religious ceremonies. These are like recitation of Vedas at home, burning oblations for gods, offering Shraddh Tarpan, receiving and entertaining guests, and giving food to the Bhutans. So, for these purposes, in the Grihasth ashram, a marriage is considered as a necessary part of the life. Then there are the rites of the Hindu marriage also reflect why it is considered as a sacramental in nature. Like in the Hindu marriages, there are certain rites which must be performed for marriage to be complete. The main rites are home, offering of the hand of the bride, and the saptapadi. The bride and bridegroom going 7 steps together. 7 फेरे भी हम कहते हैं, लेकिन 7 फेरों के अलावा भी वर्ड यूज किया जाता है सप्तपदी, यानी कि 7 पद एक साथ ब्राइड एंड ग्रूम चलते हैं. So these are considered, these saptapadi and home kind of sacraments are necessary in Hindu marriage. All these rites are performed by a Brahmin in the presence of the sacred fire and are accompanied by the Vedic mantras. The Hindus lay so much emphasis on these rites that when any of these rites are not properly performed, the marriage may be legally questioned. I'm not saying that there are not other forms to get the marriage, but when we are talking about the Hindu marriage, so these sacraments are essentially, or we can say, are necessary to perform, because otherwise a marriage can be may be legally questioned. Then, legally speaking, the Hindu marriage becomes complete and binding only when 7 steps is taken, and till then it is imperfect and revocable. Therefore, where Sakpati ceremony is interrupted before the seventh step is taken, the marriage remains incomplete. Other than these things, you might have been seen, heard about certain other rites or the rituals which are necessary in the Hindu marriage. But this is the main essential rites or ritual which needed to be performed at the time of Hindu marriage. That is Saptapadi. The Hindu marriage is also considered a sacrament in another sense. A Hindu male goes through the performance of several sacraments during the course of his life. These begin with the laying of fetus and end with the cremation of his body. किस वजह से हम ये बात कर रहे हैं? Because from the beginning to the end of the life, a Hindu perform a various sanskars in his life. जब एक बच्चा माँ के गर्भ में होता है तो गर्भधारण संस्कार का एक संस्कार कहा जाता है हिंदू में. जब एक व्यक्ति की मृत्यु हो जाती है तो हम अंत्येष्टि संस्कार की बात करते हैं. So there are number of sanskar from the beginning of the life to the end of the life. That is why we are saying in all these things there is a necessity. A thing cannot be completed without the marriage. In between, the laying of fetus, that is garbhadhan, and cremation antyeshti, like several sanskars, and marriage happens to be the most significant and essential among them. Similarly, marriage is said to be essentially for women because that is the only sacrament performed by them. Now that Hindu marriage is considered as sacramental, there is not a requirement of consent of any of the parties. Thus, even if the person is of unsound mind or minor, the marriage is considered as a valid marriage. यदि हम विवाह की बात करें या मैरिज की बात करें in the Hindus, so there is no such kind of essentials. They are saying that whether a person is a unsound mind or a minor. So the marriage की यदि हम बात करें तो मैरिज के रिगार्डिंग कहा गया है that will be considered as valid. मैरिज की वैलिडिटी पे सवाल नहीं है यहाँ. So in that aspect they are talking about that marriage is considered as a necessary part of the life. So today, thank you so much. We will discuss later on another topic.